You're busy, yeah? There's never enough time to focus on your future work happiness. But if you don't focus on it, things just stay the same, don't they? In these short episodes, I want to give you some tiny ideas, some mini experiments to try out this week to either dial down a pain point for you at work or dial up your potential for joy at work. Let's dive in. Stumble, we all stumble. Fall, we all fall. And yet we take ourselves so seriously, like our careers are a fragile house of cards that will collapse at the very first breath of imperfection. But what if we could look back at our mistakes and laugh? Not in a reckless way, but with self-compassion, with the wisdom that sees mistakes for what they are, proof that we're human, perfectly, imperfectly human. Here are some direct quotes from clients about their mistakes, or as close as my midlife memory can remember accurately. I stayed far too long. Oh my God, I just loved being perceived as being really good at something, even though that something was slowly making me fade away. If only I'd recognized early that my boss was a giant ass, maybe I wouldn't have turned into his giant asswipe. For years, I bent over backwards, pleasing someone who didn't deserve it. I was afraid to stand up for a colleague who was being unfairly treated. That childish fear has haunted me for years. The only time I cried at work was while asking for a raise. I felt like I was begging instead of treating it like a straightforward business conversation. I could have asked for help. I could have prepared more. I could have pitched better. And yet, I probably shouldn't have kissed my colleague at that work party. Consensual, yes. But bladdered, also yes. Poor judgment, all right. So, how do these kinds of mistakes get in the way of our joy at work? Well, mistakes like these, they kind of pile up. And many of us bury our mistakes, thinking they'll disappear. Instead, they show up in awkward moments, shaping our choices in ways we don't even realize. We stay too long. We jump ship too soon. We accept behavior that clashes with our values. We don't speak up. Or we speak up so badly, no one hears us. We hold on to our habits, the ones that don't serve us. In our Joy at Work experiment this week, let's try to deal with a mistake differently. I'd like you to pick one mistake from your career, just one. Look at it straight on. No excuses, no defenses. What made it so bloody awful? What sensitivity did it trigger in you? And now, the clever bit. What's the lesson? The awkward, possibly embarrassing, but undeniably valuable lesson. Maybe you learned the lesson way back then, or maybe you're just learning it now. Either way, fan-bloody-tastic, because most people never do this. And when they don't, well, they wake up years later with an ugly, private collection of unprocessed regrets. That will not be you. People who reflect on their mistakes, who talk about them honestly, not shamefully, these are the ones I love the most. These are the humans I love sharing a bottle of wine with, taking long, chatty walks with. They are constantly evolving, laughing at themselves and celebrating how resilient they are. If I end up in an old people's home someday, these are the people I want there with me. They stumble, they fall, they laugh, they learn. And every once in a while, they have a moment of absolute brilliance when everything clicks. And then They trip over something else and they laugh again. Because this messy, ridiculous, beautifully flawed experience is what it means to live a deliberate, intentional life. So this week, join me in an experiment. Play around with your mistakes, because the ability to mine them for insights, to process them, and to apply whatever you've learned, that's what makes us smart humans. And that's how we keep stumbling forward. If you enjoyed this, you might also enjoy my life satisfaction assessment. It's a 30-minute program where I guide you through a deep dive into 10 areas of your life to assess what's bringing you joy and what's bringing you down. I call it Derailed. It's a fabulous place to begin a Joy at Work redesign.